What role does the water table play in dry wells? Imagine a dry well as a sponge buried underground, waiting to soak up excess rainwater. But what determines how well it works? The answer lies just beneath the surface, the water table. The water table is the top boundary of the zone where soil and rock are fully soaked with water. It moves up and down depending on rainfall, groundwater pumping, and seasonal changes. When it rains a lot, the water table rises. During dry spells, it drops. A dry well is built to collect stormwater runoff and let it slowly seep into the ground. Its purpose is to prevent flooding and help replenish underground water supplies. But for it to do its job properly, it needs to be placed above the water table. If the dry well is too close to the water table, it can fill up quickly and stop draining. Water will back up and surface, which defeats the purpose of having a dry well. That's why there are rules about how deep the dry well should be placed relative to the water table. Usually, the bottom of the dry well needs to be at least a few feet above the highest seasonal water table. This gap ensures there is enough unsaturated soil for water to move through, making the dry well effective. Soil type plays a big role too. Sandy soils let water pass through fast, helping the dry well drain quickly. Clay soils, on the other hand, slow down water movement, which can cause water to pool or back up if the water table is close to the surface. If the water table is shallow and the soil drains slowly, a dry well might not work well, and other drainage options could be better. Seasonal changes also matter. During wet seasons, the water table can rise and get closer to the dry well, reducing its ability to drain water. In winter, frozen ground can block water from infiltrating, making the dry well less effective temporarily. That's why site assessment is so important before installing a dry well. Knowing the depth of the water table, soil type, and how these change during the year helps determine the best location and size for the dry well. In essence, the water table acts as a guide for how well a dry well can do its job. It influences how much space there is for water to soak in, how quickly water can move into the ground, and whether a dry well is suitable for a specific site. Understanding the water table and soil conditions helps property owners and water managers make smart choices about stormwater management and groundwater recharge.